Shabbat Shalom, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Let's take all the energy in the room, put it into our singing for a moment. Let this quiet right now before we sing be our first taste of Shabbat. Let's all take a big breath in and let it out.
Shabbat Shalom, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
I want to celebrate. I want to break free. I want to sing out to the one I love. To the one I love. Shiru Adonai, Shiru Shikabah, Shiru Adonai, Kol haaretz, Shiru Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Baruch Hu Shemo, Baruch Hu Shemo. This is a call out to get up on your feet. It's time we rise up with everyone in me. With everyone in me. Shiru Adonai, Shiru Shikabah, Shiru Adonai, Kol haaretz, Shiru Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Baruch Hu Shemo, Baruch Hu Shemo. I want to heal wounds that all our pain has left. I want to hear you and feel no regret. And feel no regret. Shiru Adonai, Shiru Shikabah, Shiru Adonai, Kol haaretz, Shiru Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Baruch Hu Shemo, Baruch Hu Shemo. I will sing a new song. I will
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Alan Goodis is here with us to make Shabbat even more special. And I'm going to let you clap just this time. It's so lovely to see everyone here, and I hope we're just all going to join our voices and make beautiful music together. We're so happy that Alan is here to share his talent and inspiration with us this evening. It's going to make Shabbat so special for all of us. As we begin, I'm Rabbi Melinda Pankin.
I'm Cantor Wally Shackett-Briskin.
Rabbi Jonathan Falco.
And we're joined, but he's not mic'd, so I always introduce him. We're joined by our president, Fabian Burston. We're very happy to have you here. Just a few reminders as we begin this evening. First of all, we invite you to look around, locate the exits. There is one here, 2 in the sanctuary, 1 on the social hall wall, and 2 all the way in the back. It is good practice wherever you go to make sure that you locate the exits. And remember that we're all a part of security for our congregation. If you see something, never hesitate to say something. If you have a cell phone with you, please no pictures during services, and also take a moment just to make sure that it is in off or silent mode so as not to disturb our worship. We are so happy to see all of these little faces of our children in the sanctuary this evening. Just know that there are some books in the back in case our kids need some extra entertainment. And also in room 2, we have a stream coming into that room. So please feel free to step out if you need a break for any reason throughout the service. As we begin, we all create this moment of worship together. Each week it's completely different, and all of us add a little something special. And what's so nice about being together on Friday night is we have that real sense of Jewish community when we're together. So I invite you to increase that sense of spirit of community and connection by looking around, finding one person you don't know, introducing yourself to that person, and wishing them Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to our Rock Shabbat. We want to first thank our ushers, Lissa Shore and Alan Rothman, for ushering for this evening. We also want to say Mazel Tov to Mitch and Libra Pollock on the bat mitzvah of their child Sienna. And we want to say Mazel Tov to Russell and Nicole Ariolo on the bar mitzvah of their child Dylan. It's great to have so many people here. I didn't realize, I knew that my announcements were having some buzz, but I didn't expect this, One of the benefits of getting such a great artist of Alan Goodman was, when we had this merger, we knew that we had an opportunity to bring a legacy over of the Rock Shabbat. And we're very fortunate that with the merger, this is one of the legacies of having the Rock Shabbat. We're thankful for the endowment fund that provides for these great services, so thanks so much for that. So in addition to that, we have some great programs. On Wednesday, March 15th, at 8:15, from 7 o'clock to 8:15, Rabbi Rick Jacobs will be speaking about the stemming the rising tide of anti-Semitism and what are the best strategies for protecting our communities. You can register online for this. All these events that I'm going to mention, you can register online. Lifelong Learning is having a special presentation by Film Shul. It's good to be Mel Brooks, and if you know, seen Mel Brooks' comedies and everything, he's had a really great life, and his Jewish humor is really, really great. You can register for that on March 19th at 11:30 a.m. Rabbi Pankin's doing the Intergenerational Women's Seder is back on Thursday, March 23rd at 6 p.m. Join us for this special Passover service celebrating generations of family and friends. You can register online. Torah study is tomorrow at 9 o'clock and Wednesday at 11 o'clock. Morning minyan service is tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Again, we want to thank the Pollock and Ariello family for sponsoring ONEG. Shabbat Shalom, and I look forward to a great service tonight. Thank you.
We're going to begin our service with the lighting of the Shabbat candles and the blessing over the wine. It's my pleasure to invite up our B'nai Mitzvah for this weekend and their parents to lead us in the blessing. Sienna Pollock and her parents, Mitch and Libra, and Dylan Arello and his parents, Russell and Nicole.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us.
As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lelahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
We continue page 123 with the Kiddush.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage, as a reminder of the work of creation.
As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemase v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
Our service continues on page 138, Lechadodi. This evening, we will be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Before verse 9, we'll invite you to rise to help greet the Sabbath bride. Let's all sing that together.
Adodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmianu el chamei yuchad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקורך ברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במשאבה תהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. Sing louder than you're clapping, yeah. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי אורי, שיר דרברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבל. We invite you to please rise if you're able. Face the door we came in as we welcome the Sabbath bride. בואי בשלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצוך עולה. דוח אמוני סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. לך, 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 לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. Over on the page 142, you may take your seats if you so wish. We sing Shalom Aleichem Malachei Yesharet Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Yesharet Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zetem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you're able, we invite you to please rise as we turn to page 146 and join together in words of Baruch Hu, our call to worship. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai.
Together we read at the bottom of page 149. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of lights. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of lights. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim.
Page 150. Ahavat olam, Bet Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot, ukimu mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Ahavat olam, Bet Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot, ukimu mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu v'kumeinu nasiach behukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ahavat olam, Bet Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot, ukimu mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Ahavat olam, Bet Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot, ukimu mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu v'kumeinu nasiach behukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ahavat olam, Bet Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot, ukimu mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai
בכל לבבך
ובכל נפשך
ובכל מאודיך,
והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברתם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך,
ובשוכבך ובקומך,
וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Turn to page 158. Siahamba kukinyan cuencos, siahamba kukinyan cuencos, siahamba kukinyan cuencos, siahamba kukinyan cuencos, siahamba, siahamba, oh siahamba kukinyan cuencos. Siahamba, siahamba, oh siahamba kukinyan cuencos. That is not Hebrew. Here's what it means. That was Swahili. Translates to this. We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God. Siahamba kukenyen kwankos, we must walk while we have light. Walk while we have light so the darkness does not overtake us. Our people have done a lot of walking, a lot of wandering, a lot of walking. Rabbi Ed Feinstein teaches that when the Jewish people decided they wanted to leave Egypt, they walked. He also teaches it was not that hard for the Jewish people once they decided to leave Egypt. It was not that hard, they just left. They walked. What was hard was getting Egypt out of themselves. All of us walk in moments of great light, and in moments, some of us experience of darkness. And as we sing these words, shortly, Michamocha, thanking God for our freedom and remembering our time as slaves and all the walking it took for us to reach freedom, invite you to consider where you are in that journey. In Michamocha, we learned that we were slaves in Egypt, and then we started walking. We said, Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, who is like you, Adonai, our God, mighty and awesome. And then we kept walking, and then our feet were wet, and then the water was at our waists, and then the water reached our mouths, and we couldn't say Michamocha, so we sang Michamocha. So we had a mouthful of water. And then eventually reached the promised land. Where are you in this journey tonight? We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osei pele. Nora Tehiloto Seifele. We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, we're still walking. We are walking in the light of God. Invite you to turn over the page 160, Hashki Venu. I got a call in the summer from Cantor Wally. First it was an email saying, I'd love for you to come to my congregation in New Jersey. We have this wonderful program that I'd love for you to come be a part of. And then over the phone, he's describing it to me, and I'm thinking, I've never been to this congregation, but I've been a part of this program before. He says, why, yes, we merged with our friends at TRT. And immediately was reminded of my visit to TRT, because aside from it being so much fun to get to be a part of Rock Shabbat, it was also the very last trip I took before my oldest daughter was born. It was exactly 1 month before she was born, and I remember when we scheduled this, saying to the temple at the time, I can come, and I may have to leave. Fortunately, I didn't have to leave. I was able to stay the whole time, and it was great. And then a month later, my wife and I welcomed our first daughter, Noah, into the world. And we had this little baby with us. And it was the first baby. And anyone who's a parent knows that the first baby, there's a lot of focus and attention. Every single moment, every little cry, every little sound, every little gurgle, everything we don't know, we rushed to go see what it was. And what we found was that we were very sleepy from doing this. Very sleepy. And we would have nights where we would be rocking this baby to sleep and rocking and rocking. And then she would be like, I think she's asleep. And you'd tiptoe towards the crib and set her down like a grenade. And then we'd tiptoe out of the room. And then sometimes the door would just make the slightest little squeak. And then it was, ah! And we'd go right back into the room, hold her, rock her again. And as new parents, my wife Cody and I found ourselves wanting to do things, to mark moments, and thinking, we're parents now, we have to teach this child some things. And one of those things was thinking about what sort of Jewish rituals might we like to have as a family. So every night before we would put her to sleep, we would sing Shema, which traditionally we say 3 times a day, first thing in the morning, before you go to sleep, and another time in the day. And then the other prayer here on 160, Hashki Venu, which is all about asking God to watch over us while we sleep. And I remember sitting with this text and thinking, what is it I want to say to this little baby when they go to sleep? When they sleep the night, what is it that I hope the world they wake up to? What do I hope they find in that world? And so that's where the English words in this come from. So we can all sing the Hebrew together. It's on 160. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim together Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim Let there be love, guard us with peace, strength and compassion for all in need. Shield us from hate, illness and war. Watch over us as we go forth. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim Fill us with hope, grace and truth. May we all return to you. Keep us safe tonight. May we rise in a new light. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim I invite you to turn to page 142 as we join together in words of Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת שבת ויהי נפש שבת שבת ויהי נפש שבת שבת ויהי נפש.
Please rise for our Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי הכל אתה רב והושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please be seated.
Continue on page 176, counting from the bottom 6 lines up, looking at it starts V'chol Chachayim, also magically here on the screen. These words are found in Modim Anachnu Lach. Modim is our prayer for gratitude, and this setting focuses on the Hebrew word Selah. Selah is one of these amazing Hebrew words, which is translated many ways. Some people translate it as meaning to pause. Some translate it as meaning to lift up one's voice, even lifting up a voice in song. A cantor in St. Louis, I don't know if this is true, told me it's embedded throughout our worship and often near the end of the liturgy, and he thinks that may have been to signal to the people leading the music that it's time to wrap it up. We're not sure. But tonight it's all about gratitude, thinking about our blessings, the gifts we're given every day, what it is we want to say thank you to God for. החיים יודוך סלע, 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 סלע. בכל החיים יודוך סלע, 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 סלע. ויהללו את שמך באמת, האל ישועתנו ועזרתנו. סלע, סלע, סלע. בכל החיים יודוך סלע, 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 סלע. בכל החיים יודוך סלע, 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 סלע. ברוך אתה הטוב שמך ולך נאה לכבודו. סלע, 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 Selah, 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 Selah. Selah, 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 Selah.
Our minds now turn to those who are in need of healing. We pray for a refuah shlema, a complete healing as a community for Stephen Rice, Jordan Silverman, Brian Roche, Roberta Feibush, Arlene Schwartz, Harriet Domro, Liana Jacobson, Ron Labovitz, Alyssa Foreman, Dina Silverman, Amy Gutterson, Hillary Gross, Gail Schesser, Brian Lynn, Jordan Horowitz, Grayson Shukovsky, Spencer Gray Rothstein, Brody Scher, Fira Schwartz, Samuel Finkelstein, Alexander and Eugenia Litovskaya, Debbie Pincus, Joyce Welkes, Jay Titelbaum, Evan Goldberg, David Aaron, Carrie Martuselli, Rachel Orenstein, Maya Madeline Capuccelli, Philip Dorff, Iris Schubert, Fred Kaplan, Francis Viola, Iris Schubert, Shirley Salkin, Karen Meltzer, as well as those afflicted with COVID-19. We pray for a refuat hanefesh and a refuat haguf, a complete healing of mind, body, and of spirit for those we love and those who are in need. If you're thinking of anyone this evening whose name you would like to mention out loud, we invite you to do so now at this time. We take all of those names said out loud and wrap them with the ones said in our hearts as we recite the Misha Berach Lacholim on page 371.
Mishe Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And let us say Amen. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adonai רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים
We pause for a moment of silent prayer.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. Invite you to close your sidurs if you're holding a sidur. Where might I go to find you, exalted, hidden one? Where would I not go to find you, ever-present, eternal one? My heart cries out to you, please draw near to me. The moment I reach out for you, I find you reaching in for me. Where might I go to find you, exalted, hidden one? Where would I not go to find you, ever-present, eternal one. My heart cries out to you. Please draw near to me. The moment I reach out for you, I find you reaching in for me. My heart cries out to you. Please draw near to me. The moment I reach out for you, I find you reaching in for me. Where might I go to find you? Please draw near to me. Those words I just sang were written by Yehuda Halevi. Yehuda Halevi was a poet and a scholar who lived in Spain in the year 1600. And many years later, rabbis Joel and Larry Hoffman translated those words to English, and they're found here in our prayer book. These words were first pointed out to me by a cantor. I was on my way to go do some work at a congregation in Kansas City, and we're on the phone planning, and then she just, in the middle of our planning, goes, "Look at page 171. We're on the phone. I go, "Okay." And I look at it, and she goes, "Read that." So I read it to myself, and she goes, "Isn't that like a riddle?" And I thought about it and looked at it. Where might I go to find you? I'm looking for something. I'm seeking, I'm searching, I'm lost. Where do I go to find this person, this place, this thing? I'm looking and looking and looking, and I can't find it. And then the moment I stop looking, there it is. And I sing this song, I think about my story and how I ended up not just here at your congregation tonight in New Jersey, but how I ended up doing this, singing Jewish songs for a living. And it all goes back to my time at Jewish summer camp. I grew up going to an amazing Jewish summer camp in Zionsville, Indiana, called Goldman Union Camp Institute, also known as Gucci. I first went to camp when I was 4 years old. My mom was a Jewish educator at our congregation, and when I was a kid, loaded my sister and I into the car from Toronto, where we grew up, and we drove for what felt like 40 years of wandering. It was, I think, 10 hours, but just drove, and I just remember just seeing, like, if you've driven through the Midwest, it's just flat, and, like, sometimes there's corn, and then you may see, like, a Bob Evans or something, and then you may see some more corn, and that's about it. And we just drove and drove and drove and drove. And then eventually, we ended up in Zionsville, Indiana. And in many ways, this for me became the promised land. As a little kid, loved it, because being a little kid at camp means you get to kind of run around and do whatever you want. And when you're a little kid running around a room like this, feels like you're running all over the earth, unattended. And I loved that. And I think back to that time, and my very first exposure, I think, to live music was the singing that happened every day at camp. Gucci is a camp that loves to sing. Rabbi Ron Klotz, who was the director of the camp, used to joke. He goes, "Listen, We don't have a lot of stuff here at this camp. We don't have any horses. We don't have any lakes. We have a couple pools. One of them failed, and now it's called the old pool. We just filled it in with dirt, so we gather there in the morning. And then we have another pool, which leaks a lot of water. We don't have a lot of stuff here, but what we do have is a community, and so the way we build community here is by singing. So at camp, we would sing 5 times a day. First, sing in the morning around the failed old pool. After breakfast, there'd be a song session. After lunch, there'd be a song session. After dinner, there'd be a song session, and the whole camp would gather right after dinner for services every night. And that was just the definite singing. There might be more singing at other times in music. And I remember being just taken with this experience as a kid, with this idea of hearing communal singing and voices. When I was 6 years old, I said to my parents, I said, I need to have a guitar when I turned 6 for my birthday. And then on my 6th birthday, my grandpa showed up at our house carrying what looked like a guitar case. And I very enthusiastically waited for him to come to the door, standing there with the screen door open. And I'm like, oh, is that a guitar? And he looked at me and he said, no. And then I burst into tears and ran away. And then he said, I was kidding. Come back. And I came back, and in this little guitar case was a guitar, and I opened it up and I looked at it and studied it. And I didn't know how to do anything else. But luckily my uncle was there, and my uncle said, I know a thing or two about the guitar. Can I show you? Sure. Hand him the guitar. And he went like this. And then my parents realized we should get you some guitar lessons. And they did, and I started playing guitar at 6 years old and kept doing this, and then something happened. Something profound happened was I became a teenager. And when I became a teenager, I wanted an electric guitar. And I still loved going to camp and being there, but I looked at all those Jewish songs we sang at camp, and I thought, these songs are kind of lame. I don't really like these songs. These songs aren't cool. And that was my attitude until I was about 18 years old, or until I was 17 years old. I was in a program at camp called Avodah, which is a trick. This program, your parents pay thousands of dollars for you to go to camp for 9 weeks, and avodah means work. So one of the other things that Gucci does not have, aside from horses and lakes, there are also not people there who are paid to do things like clean and work in the kitchen and mop up after meals and do all sorts of other things around camp. Instead, people pay to come and do this for 8 weeks. And it's amazing. They love it. It's amazing. And when I was started to get more involved in playing music then, and then I remember after camp got a call from the camp director and a few other people, and they said, hey, are you going to come back to camp this summer to be a counselor? And I said, of course. And they said, good. We also would like for you to be a song leader this summer. And I thought, oh no. And I said, a song leader is one of those people who stand up in the dining hall 5 times a day, not with their electric guitars, but with the acoustic guitars. And they're singing those Jewish songs that I thought were so lame. So I politely said, no, thank you, and then hung up the phone. And then a couple weeks went by, and they called again and said, we'd like you to think about being a song leader again this summer. And no, again. And then finally, I think the 3rd or 4th time, they tricked me, just like that Avodah program. First, they tricked my parents into paying thousands of dollars for me to go to camp to clean. And then I was tricked over the phone, where the camp director said to me, so, I've known you since you were a little boy, right? Yes. And you've been coming to camp for a very long time. Uh-huh. And camp has given you a lot, hasn't it? Oh, yeah, a lot. You've made some good friends here at camp. My best friends are here at camp. Well, now you're coming to work at camp. Right. And when you come to work at camp, it's about giving back to camp and offering what camp needs. And I thought, oh, no. and got to camp that summer very reluctantly. At that time, I'll share with you, I was not someone who was comfortable getting up in front of a room of people and singing at all. I would be the person who'd sing really loud with my friends maybe, or sing loud in the basement when everybody left the house, but getting up in front of people and singing was not my thing. And what I found from being forced into doing something that I did not want to do, because I think I was afraid, and I didn't want to be bad at it. I didn't want to be bad. What I found is that I was able to listen and hear all sorts of other voices, just like tonight from those first notes when I got up here and sang, Shabbat Shalom. You all sang right away. And moments like that bring me right back to being in the dining hall as a little kid at camp and thinking about moments like that. And so that ability to sort of say, well, maybe I can do something with this could be pretty special. And I learned that singing these Jewish songs does not have to be lame. And that was pretty cool too. So now I get to make my living traveling all around the country and visiting congregations on weekends like this. And in the summer, I get to go to summer camps all over the country. One of the camps I've been so fortunate to get to spend a lot of time with, aside from Gucci, where I grew up, and I've been to all the other URJ camps and lots of other places, but one of the camps I've been so fortunate to get to spend a lot of time with is a camp in Great Barrington, Massachusetts called Eisner Camp. I think I first went to Eisner Camp in 2010. I was invited to come for a very short visit so that they could try me out. And then I was invited back for a longer visit, which made me think I must have done a good job. And what I remember about this and what I loved about visiting Eisner was certain places you go to, you just click with a person or a place or a community. Maybe you take a vacation somewhere you've never been and you walk around, you're like, I could live here. I see myself here. This is so great. And that was my experience when I got to Eisner. And after a few visits, I remember getting a phone call from my friend who's here this evening, Louis Boardman, who was the director of camp at the time. And Louis said to me, this was like October, go to camp in July. And I remember Louis saying to me, what do you think about coming to camp and working with a group of our kids to write a song? And this was October. I thought, sure, that sounds like a lot of fun. Great. I'll have one of the assistant directors get in touch with you. We'll find dates. You'll come to camp. It'll be great. We'll do a week together. Awesome. July rolls around. I get to camp on a Sunday. My memory of this, and we did this a few times, but the first time my memory was getting to camp on a Sunday and them saying, okay, you just got here today. We'll let you'll go out and sing with kids. And then tomorrow, first thing Monday morning, we're going to hit the ground running writing this song. So at 9 a.m., you're going to have an hour with our youngest kids, like 7 and 8-year-olds for an hour. Okay. Then at 10 o'clock, you'll have the next age group up. You'll have 10-year-olds for an hour. Okay. Then you'll have 11-year-olds for an hour. Okay. Then you'll go to lunch. And then in the afternoon, you'll meet in 1-hour blocks with all of our campers up to the 15-year-olds. Okay, so you'll do this Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is a trip day. So everybody's leaving camp. Nobody will be here. Thursday, you're going to write some more of this song. And then Friday, you will get up at Shabbat services in front of our 550 campers and our 300 staff and our 200 visitors who will be here, our 1,000 people who will be here at camp. And you will sing this song that you will have written with these kids, and it will be great. And I remember immediately being terrified and thinking, well, wait a minute. The 7-year-olds, when do they get together with everybody else? And the schedule did not really allow for that. I was like, we'll gather right before we sing the song together. And I leaned into this idea and said, okay, we have a short period of time and a deadline. And just like I said when I was asked to song lead how I didn't want to be bad at it, I said, I don't want this song to be terrible. So let's just give it our all. And what I found in sitting with groups of kids as young as 7 was my first thought is, what in the world is a 7-year-old going to have to say about social justice? When they're asked a big question, like, when you see problems in the world, what is it you want to go out and do? What do you want to do? I didn't expect much. And what I found in this experience of working with kids 7, 8, 9, all the way up to 15 is that the conversations I had with those kids were the exact same conversations I would have at home with my friends and with my family. And the same things that I would watch on TV and be concerned with in the news and in our country and in the world were the same things that these kids were concerned with. And so this particular song I'm going to share, I think we wrote this in 2018 together at camp. And it's rooted in this idea of camp's mission statement at Eisner was rooted in the Pirkei Avot text, Lo alecha cham lecha ligmor, even if the task before you is so great that you will not finish the job, you still must do your part. And what I remember Lewis saying to me when we wrote this, he goes, that's our mission statement. And we've done all this work at camp to help empower our kids to believe that they are the change makers who can go out into the world and create the world that they want to live in. But so what? If all they know is they can do that, what's going to change? We need an action statement, and help us write a song to do that. So got together with this group of kids, and we spent some time, and I'm going to share the chorus first. It sounded like this. We sang, stand up, and go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Stand up, and go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. We wrote that, and I thought, that feels pretty good. So I went to some of the rabbis at camp and said, rabbis, cantors, Jewish educators, I myself am not a Hebrew scholar, but could you help us? Are there any Jewish texts that speak to this idea of standing up, being of good courage, and not stopping until you accomplish your goals? And they politely, first they turned to each other, and then they turned to me, and one of them said, why, yes, Alan, there is. Great, what is it? Chazak ve'ematz al ta'arotz ve'al techat. What does that mean? It means stand up, be of good courage, and don't be afraid or dismayed, even if something before you is really challenging. And I thought, this is amazing. Where do these words come from? How cool. We just wrote these words and didn't even know there was a text that went with it. So these words were first spoke by Moses nearing the end of his life. Moses realized he was not going to reach the promised land, bestowed these words onto Joshua, and Joshua onto the Jewish people. So I'm very excited to share this with you this evening, and want to let you know all of these words, every single one of the words in this song was written by a kid, 7 through 15. So this is called Stand Up. We're going to invite some kids up here. Our junior choir is going to come up and lead this with me. How could I forget them? I didn't forget them. Come on up. And there are some hand motions. I'll teach everybody the hand motions. So we all sing, stand up. And if you're sitting down, you can just put your hands up in the air like this. We sing, stand up, go be courageous. You put your hand on your heart because your courage comes from within. Go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious. And then you give a dikembe matumbo, don't stop. You've got the fight. And for the word fight, you stand in what's called a power pose. So if you were a superhero, what would your logo look like? What is a pose that makes you feel strong, powerful, fierce? So we'll all sing that once, and then we'll all hear the rest of the song. So we sing like this. Stand up and go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Stand up and go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. I've got the power. I've got the tough. I am daring enough to be heard. I've got the grit. I've got the spark. I am a light when the world gets dark. Stand up, go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. We'll band together, we'll heed the call. We are relentless, we won't fall. We'll break the ceiling, we'll touch the sky. They clip our wings and we still fly. Stand up, go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Stand up, go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. חזק ואמץ, אל תערוץ ואל תחת. 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 Stand up, oh, be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Stand up, go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Stand up, go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Shabbat Shalom. We invite you all to stand up as we join together in Aleinu.
שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Please be seated.
We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. If you are here remembering someone who passed away, we invite you to rise when their name is read and to remain standing until we all rise at the end for Mourner's Kaddish. We remember the over 1,146,000 Americans who have succumbed to COVID, totaling over 6.8 million in the world. We remember those during the 7-day mourning period of Shiva: Barbara Gershman, mother of Jennifer Mazzi, Scott Gershman and Allison Harper, and sister of Randy Berman. She was the mother-in-law of Dave Matzi, Anita Gershman, and Ronnie Harper, and sister-in-law of Edward Berman. Barbara was the grandmother of Alex, Benjamin, Mason, Jack, and Billy. We also remember those during the 30-day mourning period of Shiloshim: Norman Gross and Alan Brooks. If you are here remembering someone who passed away in the last year, we invite you to rise now. We also remember those for whose yard sites fall on this Shabbat: Edward Adler, Hattie Altman, Joyce Ehrman, Annette Beiser, Rosalind Burko, Naomi Beidner, Roberta Borgerson, Irving Borshoff, Gary Brackfeld, Arthur G. Braun, Nathan Broder, Mac Brown, Gerald Bursey, Sally Chamoff, Glenn S. Cohen, Francis Derish, Joseph Druckman, Lillian Farber, Lillian Feldman, Dina Fried, Sarah Fried, Pearl Friedberg, Fred Gandelman, Michael Geliebter, John Goldfein, Marcia Greenblum, Joel Grenadier, Henry Gusso, Morris Heiko, Helena Height, Isaac Heller, Rebecca Herman, Joseph Herman, Seymour Hirsch, George A. Hessline, Donald Iskowitz, Matilda Conweiler, Rita Kirschenbaum, Sheila Klein, Jeanette Lakritz, Louis Lautman, Mark Letterman, Sylvia Levin, Esther Licht.
Irving Long, Seymour Marcus, Ann Naftali Matza, Israel Mercer, Ida Mintz, Gertrude Powell, Bernard Perness, Ray Pascal Sobel, Marilyn Taskowitz, Lloyd Rackmill, Scott Joseph Rafaloff, Hannah Lucas Raisin, Abraham Rice, Nathan Rubel, Samuel Saborski, Ida Salos, Saul Salzhauer, Robert Scarborough, David Shine, Esther Schiffman, Evelyn Schlemm, Dolores Schultz, Iris Schultz, Philip Siegman, Jerry Seifer, George M. Skowronek, Bunny Scran, Isidore Smukler, Paul Sternberg, Claire Sternberg, Hyman Titleman, Martin Tarnoff, Rhoda Tarnoff, Linda Trott, Stan Trott, Marie Waxman, Lillian Waldorf, Morris Weissman, Pearl B. Wolk, Olga Wolt, Leona Zeitlin. And each week we name individually 6 who perished in the Shoah, the Holocaust. Yitzhak Eilen, Mordechai Yakovich, Emma Feinblum, Zhenya Katzman, Rosa Sapojnik, Yevensky Scheinker.
Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. And may we all rise for the mourner's Kaddish on page 598 together. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Ve'alma Divrach Yirute, Ve'amlich Malchute, Bechayechon Uvyomechon, Uvchaye Duchol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uvizman Kariv V'imru Amen. Yehe Shlama Rabba Min Shemai, Lolam Ulme Almaya, Yit Borach V'yishtabach, V'yit Pa'ar, V'yit Romam, V'yit Naseh, V'yit Hadar, V'yit Taleh, V'yit Talal, Shemei Kudesha Brihu, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbichata V'nechemata, Da'amiran Be'alma V'imru Amen. Yehe Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
Shalom Bimromav,
Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen.
please be seated.
It's my honor to announce the temple offerings for this Shabbat evening. Offerings are in memory of Morton S. Cohen and Samuel H. Laitman. Also, temple offerings are for the yard sites of Rosalind Burko, Esther Schiffman, Glenn Cohen, Sarah Fried, Liana Zeitlin, Isaac Heller, Olga Wolt, Paul Sternberg, Claire Sternberg, Joseph Herman, Rebecca Herman, George A. Hessling, Pearl Friedberg, Abraham Granoff, Israel Mercer, Helena Heights, George M. Skowronek, Gerald S. Bursey, Dina Fried, Hattie Altman, Marilyn Pesitzwitz, Sheila Klein, Iris Schultz, Dolores Schultz, John Goldfein, Jeffrey Heimberg, Hyman Tadelman, Esther Licht, Molly Cole. Offerings are also in appreciation of Rabbi Pankin. Does anyone have any good news to share with us this Shabbos evening? Please.
My favorite junior choir member is turning 9 on Sunday.
Your favorite junior choir member turning 9 this weekend on Sunday. Excellent. Mazel tov. Any other good news anyone would like to share with us? Please. That's right, midnight run tomorrow. That's right, something to be excited for sure. Thank you. Please. That is good news, yes. The fact you are here, we are very happy, and it is good news for all of us. Thank you. Any other good news anyone would like to share, please? Oh, wow. All right. We have quite the birthday weekend. That is awesome.
I have some good news.
Please.
Alan is back in the band.
All
So
right.
nice to have him back.
Welcome back, Alan, to the band. Please, yes.
Very special cousin getting a bar mitzvah tomorrow.
Oh, that is so sweet. A special cousin having her bat mitzvah tomorrow. That's right. We are all very excited. Any other good news anyone would like to share with us? We see one in the back. Oh, that is very exciting that the 2 middle school performers we have there in the back, 2 stars in the making. Please. Oh.
What play is it?
What's the play? Shrek. Oh, classic.
Get tickets before they sell out.
Yeah, please. Mazel tov! You just got into college. That's awesome. What an accomplishment.
Where are you going, Noah?
East Stroudsburg University.
Well, make sure your mom gives us your address so we can send you all kinds of things. We have a fabulous college committee that sends out goodies to our kids all the time.
It's strategic. Other good news? Thank you all for sharing. It is always a pleasure to share that as part of our community together this evening.
So we'd like to invite up any of our kids who have not yet become bar bat mitzvah, or anyone who's celebrating an anniversary or a birthday. I'm going to bring it down to the floor to do this because there's a little bit of wires up here. But come join with us for Motzi.
Here they come. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our prayer is joyfully said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.
As we come in blessing, and we've had a lot of blessing here this evening, so too we leave one another in blessing. And I invite you, if you're sitting next to someone who you're allowed to grab hold of them. If not, put your hand on your heart, take some blessing in, or even you can put up your hands and send blessing out into the world. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May you be blessed, may you be safe. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May you be luminous, may you be loved. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May you be joyous. May you be healthy. May you be whole. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Good Shabbos. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
We invite the junior choir back up to join us as we close again with Stand Up. Invite you all to join us in singing. You could even stand up if you want. I've got the power. I've got the tough. I am daring enough to be heard. I've got the grit. I've got the spark. I am a light when the world gets dark. Stand up, go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight, you sound so good singing, keep singing. Stand up, go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight, we'll band together, we'll heed the call. We are relentless, we won't fall. We'll break the ceiling, we'll touch the sky. They clip our wings, and we still fly. Stand up, go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Stand up, go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. חזק ואמץ, אל תרוץ ואל תרעד. 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 Stand up, go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You got the fight. Stand up, go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Shabbat shalom.